Team captain, prepare to post the colors. All active duty veterans, first responders, please render a hand salute. All others, place your hand on your heart. Pledge of allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the invocation. We are joined this evening by Jeffrey Byrd, a professor here at Life Pacific University. He's a U.S. Army veteran whose leadership and faith have guided countless students and community members. And drawing on his background in ministry, education, and military service, he continues to inspire others to live with purpose and integrity. He will serve as our acting chaplain for this evening's program. Brother Byrd.
If I could get everyone to bow their heads, please. Almighty God, we gather tonight to celebrate both the gift of our nation's defense forces and a milestone for our honored guest, the United States Marine Corps. Thank you for the men and women who have served this country with dedication and sacrifice. And thank you for this evening's fellowship and reflection. We are grateful for the service of those who have gone before us and for the peace and freedom they have fought to protect. We also pray for our brothers and sisters in arms who are serving around the world today. As we celebrate the United States Marine Corps' birthday, we thank you for the lessons of honor, courage, and commitment that they have learned and lived out in their service. We ask that you watch over them in the coming year, dear Lord, and bless them with joy, health, and continued strength. May your presence be felt with us as we celebrate this special occasion this evening. And it's in Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Rotary Club of San Dimas, the Satellite Rotary Club of Military Family Support, and the San Dimas Rotary Foundation, welcome to the 5th Annual United States Marine Corps Benefit Dinner. The colors were presented this evening by the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post number 12034 in Laverne, the Band of Brothers. You can find out more about them on page 10 of your program. They were assisted this evening by the fine young musicians from the Mountain Fife and Drum Corps. They also can be found on page 9 of the program. Please join me in a round of applause for their presentation of the colors. Tonight we gather not only to celebrate the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps, but to honor the spirit of service that unites us all, Marines, veterans, family, and community. The dinner supports Making Spirits Bright, providing Christmas gifts and hope for our enlisted families, and Feeding Military Families, which has delivered more than 60 tons of essential food and supplies to military households at Marine Air Ground Combat Center 29 Palms, Camp Pendleton, Fort Irwin, Los Angeles Air Force Base, and Coast Guard Base, Los Angeles Long Beach. Our 5th annual dinner is especially exciting as we are also celebrating the dedicated volunteers of Making Spirits Bright who have joined with the Satellite Rotary Club of Military Family Support, growing their capacity and reach. Tonight, we're surrounded by friends, leaders, and heroes. Each of you are part of the story we celebrate. I invite you to enjoy this evening of remembrance, fellowship, as we honor those who have served and those who stand beside them. Let us begin this evening by welcoming and extending our gratitude to our distinguished guests and civic leaders who join us in this noble endeavor to support our military, their families, and our community. First, I'd like to introduce our state officials. Would California State Senator Susan Rubio please rise? Thank you for our service to the great state. Has Josh Newman, former state senator, arrived already? He has not, but he will be here this evening also. Thank you for your service. From the county, we have Vicki Paul, Deputy Field Supervisor for Kathleen Barger. Vicki, thank you very much. And our elected officials, we have with us our own hometown mayor, Emmett Badar. Emmett, would you please rise? And I don't see it, but we're supposed to have also Eric Nakano here this evening. Eric, has he made it yet? Well, he'll be here with us also. And also we have from the Glendora, our sister, kind of our sister city, sort of, Pride of the Foothills, another one of our foothill communities. We have the mayor of Glendora, David Friedendahl. David, would you stand? Thank you for being here this evening. And we have the mayor of Diamond Bar, Mayor Chi Yu Teng. Would you please stand? Thank you very much. And we have from the Diamond Bar City Council, Stan Liu. Stan Liu, would you please rise? Thank you. Among our other elected officials, we are joined this evening by one elected member of the Bonita Unified School District, Derek Bamanu. Derek, would you rise? Now, Derek is the, it must be his daughter clapping down there. Derek is the Vice President of the School Board, a member of the Rotary Club of San Dimas, and Master-elect of the San Dimas Masonic Lodge, number 428. His wife has given him the same advice my wife has. If he joins anything else, it better be the Foreign Legion. Let's see. Other Diamond Bar community leaders. We have with us this evening Ruben Torres, Diamond Bar Planning Commissioner. And Raphael Plunkett, the Diamond Bar Traffic and Transportation Commissioner. Romulo Morales, the Diamond Bar Traffic and Transportation Commissioner. From the city of Pomona, Wayne Schmidt, an Ethics Commissioner. Wayne, there you are. And fast becoming one of my best friends, the President of the Walnut Valley Water District, Teresa Lee. Now, she is also a member of the Satellite Rotary Club of Military Family Support and one of the pistons of Making Spirits Bright Committee. So please thank her for her service every time you see her tonight. I skipped a page because I should tell you that Wayne Schmidt's also a member of the Satellite Rotary Club of Military Family Support and past master of the San Dimas Masonic Lodge. Thank you so much, Wayne. Also supporting us tonight is Elena Robles, Senior District Representative, Office of Senator Rubio. Elena? Let's see here. A Rotary Club is a community-focused organization with a noble purpose to bring together individuals from diverse backgrounds who share a commitment to service both locally and globally. These dedicated members are known as Rotarians, who work collaboratively, that's together, to address pressing societal changes, promote goodwill, and advance positive change. Through various service projects, Rotary Clubs aim to make a meaningful impact in areas such as education, healthcare, clean water access, hunger relief, and disaster response. Rotary's overarching mission is encapsulated in its motto, service above self, reflecting its dedication to fostering positive change in the world, one community at a time. This evening, we're joined by a very special guest, that is the District Governor of Rotary District 5300. Please join me in welcoming District Governor 5300, Gilda Moshier. Gilda leads more than 60 Rotary clubs across Southern California and Southern Nevada, guiding over 2,000 Rotarians in their mission of service above self. A proud immigrant from Iran, she turned personal challenges into purpose, building a career as a life insurance broker and a life dedicated to helping families thrive. A past president of the Rotary Club of San Marino, she has been a driving force for membership growth, leadership development, and community impact throughout the district. Please join me in welcoming Governor Moshier to this evening. We also have with us the president of the Rotary Club of San Dimas, Mike Wallace. Mike, please stand. Thank you. Mike is a San Dimas native and a lifelong community leader. After graduating from San Dimas High School, he earned a bachelor's degree in economics with an accounting emphasis from the UC of Santa Barbara and built a successful career in public accounting. Today, he combines that expertise with a passion for service. He is the immediate past chair of the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce, president of the San Dimas Rotary Club, and a board member of many other organizations such as the San Dimas Sheriff's Boosters and the House of Ruth. Mike is a dedicated community service. We also have with us Dominic Torres, who is the founding member of the Satellite Rotary Club of Military Family Support. Dominic, please stand. His club focuses on food insecurity among junior enlisted families. Currently today, 22,000 active duty families, 213,000 National Guard reservists, and 1.2 million veterans receive federal food assistance. To date, that club supports the pantries, as we've said, on Marine, 29 Palms, Camp Pendleton, Fort Irwin, LA Air Force Base, and the Coast Guard Base with over 60 tons of food. Dominic is a Marine Corps combat veteran. He is the founder of High Point Brew Co. and the past chairman of the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce. And thank you for your service to our country and the community, Dominic. The Grand Lodge of California, the Grand Lodge of Masons in California, was established in 1850. It serves as the governing body of Freemasonry within the state. It's located in San Francisco. This historic institution plays a pivotal role in overseeing the more than 300 Masonic lodges and chapters throughout California. It upholds the principles of Freemasonry, which include promoting moral and ethical values, community service, and personal development. We have with us a number of Grand Lodge officers this evening. Please stand when your name is called and remain standing until all have been called. First, Worshipful Alfonso Sanchez, Inspector at Large, 723rd Masonic District. Okay, I'm sure he'll be here shortly. And then Very Worshipful Jack Rose, past Grand Lecturer, Grand Lodge of California. Jack, thank you. A women's club is a community-based organization, typically composed of women from diverse backgrounds and interests who come together to engage in various social, cultural, educational, and philanthropic activities. We have two with us this evening, and so please stand when you are called and remain standing until all have been recognized. First, Rhonda Brewster, president of the Rancho Cucamonga Women's Club, right in the back back there. And Pat Huffman of the Federated East Valley Women's Club. There you go. Thank you. Okay, we have a few more. I want to cover these. Let's see. These are community leaders that, well, I'm going to mention them. The Venerable Jun Wong, the chair of the Social Education Department at the Fu Wang Shan Sai Lai Temple. I murdered that. The Venerable Shi Zi Shen, chair of the Publicity Department at the same temple. Gina Rabin, president of the East San Gabriel Valley Republican Women's Club. Gina. Penny Stevenson, president of San Dimas Heroes. Where's Penny? Rotarian Anthony Porter, president of the Laverne San Dimas Education Foundation. Rotarian Sylvia Melendez, CEO, San Dimas Chamber of Commerce. Rotarian Rita Karizik McGee, secretary, San Dimas Chamber of Commerce, and also one of our Rotarians. Stand up, Rita. Post Commander Maria McKinney, Veterans of Foreign War Post 12031. Thank you. Let's make sure we got everybody now. Would all Rotarians please rise and be recognized? All the Rotarians, please stand up. Thank you. Would all Masons please rise and be recognized? Would all members of women's clubs be recognized, stand to be recognized? Now, I've been waiting to make this introduction for, well, ever since I met this group of people. But allow me to introduce the Stars and Stripes Ministry from Holy Name of Mary Church. They are a dedicated and compassionate, well, let me get through it now. I had a bunch of good things to say. Don't cut me off now. But they are dedicated and enthusiastic, a dedicated and compassionate group whose mission is to stand beside those who serve and have served our nation. They are a valued partner in all of our efforts to support military families. They have worked alongside us tirelessly to combat food insecurity. They bring hope to those who sacrifice so much for our freedom. Their partnership and generosity are essential to the success of our efforts in feeding military families across the Southern California region. Would members of Stars and Stripes Ministry please stand? All right, so all the community members, thank you so much for your valuable service. On the eve of Veterans Day, we celebrate the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps, and we stand in support of our military families. We pause to honor the heartbeat of our nation's defense, our veterans. Tomorrow, America will awaken to a day of remembrance and gratitude, but tonight we gather in the quiet glow of that promise, mindful that freedom is not born in a moment, it is kept alive through generations of sacrifice. These brave men and women who carry the weight of duty and the banner of honor across distant horizons, their courage and steadfast devotion continue to inspire all who follow in their path. Tonight, we're privileged to welcome among us a distinguished group of military veterans whose service stands as a living testament to the spirit of our armed forces. As your branch is called, please stand and remain standing until all veterans have been recognized. Please hold your applause until every veteran is standing. First, I call on all Army veterans and active duty soldiers to stand and be recognized. That's the Marines out there. That's the Marines applauding. I know it. I heard the direction. I call on all Navy and active duty sailors to stand and be recognized. I call on all Air Force veterans and active duty airmen to stand and be recognized. I call on all Coast Guard veterans and active duty Coast Guardsmen to stand and be recognized. Coast Guard. Coast Guard. I got to do it yet again. I fought the battle of Marina del Rey, for anybody who wants to know. So, I now call on all Marine Corps veterans and active duty Marines to stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service. On your table, you'll find a white donation envelope, and on page 11 of your program, there's a QR code for Zelle giving. Throughout this evening, whether it's dinner, the entertainment, the keynote address, or simply the mission itself that moves you, we invite you to make a contribution here tonight. Every gift, large or small, helps us continue serving those who serve our nation. Dinner's about to be served. As you enjoy your meal, the entertainment and fellowship with those around you, please remember to save your slice of cake for later in the evening. Immediately follow, yeah, some of you didn't, did you? Yeah. All the Navy cake is gone, I know it. Immediately following the dinner, tonight's entertainment, we'll come together for the traditional Marine Corps cake cutting ceremony, a time-honored tribute to the generations of Marines who have served our nation with courage and pride. Get ready to be swept off your feet as we welcome the Lindy sisters to our mealtime performance. This dynamic trio, consisting of Lana, Lynette, and Laura Lee, has captured the hearts of audiences with their mesmerizing harmonies, their enchanting 1940s swing music, with their vintage charm and delightful vocal arrangements. They bring glamour to an era complete with the seam stockings, ruby red lips, as they take stage. Enjoy the performance.
Well, happy birthday, Marines. 250 years. Hoorah! I have a special affection for you because my dad was also a Marine. All right, well, we hope that you are in the mood for some lovely music from the 1940s. It's pretty timeless. And, of course, the title of the first song we're going to do is In the Mood. Mr. What you callin', what you doing tonight? Hope you're in the mood because I'm feeling just right. How's about a corner with a table for two? Where the music's mellow, it's a gay rendezvous. There's no chance romancing with a blue attitude. You got to do some dancing to get in the mood. Sister, what you callin', that's a timely idea. Something swing-a-dilla would be good to my ear. Everybody must agree that dancing has charms. When you have a certain one you love in your arms, stepping out with you will be a sweet interlude. I'll build her up, but that would put me in the mood. In the mood. That's it, I got it. In the mood. Your ears will spot it. In the mood. Oh, what a hot hit. Be alive and get the jive. You got to learn how. Hep, hep, hep. Hep like a heifer, pep, pep, pep. Hot as a pepper, step, step, step. Step like a stepper, we're mugging and hugging, we're in the mood now. Mr. What you call 'em, all you needed was fun. You can see the wonders that this evening has done. Your feet were so heavy till they hardly could move. Now they're light as feathers and you're right in the groove. You were only hungry for some musical food. You're positively, absolutely in the mood. Sister, what you call 'em, I'm indebted to you. It'll go to show what good influence can do. Never felt so happy and so fully alive. Seems the jamming jumping is a powerful jive. Swing-a-roo is giving me a new attitude. My heart is full of rhythm and I'm in the mood. In the mood. That's it, you got it. In the mood. Your ear was spotted. In the mood. Be alive and get the jive. You got to learn how. Hep, hep, hep. Your hep like a heifer full of pep, pep, pep. So hard like a pepper when you step, step, step. We're steppity stepping like a stepper. We're again. And now we're again, 'cause we're in the mood.
Thank you. Well, we do love to sing the music of the Andrews Sisters, and this next song was their first big hit. It's called By Mere Bis du Chêne.
Of all the boys I've known, and I've known some, until I first met you, I was lonesome. And when you came in sight, dear, my heart grew light, and this whole world seemed new to me.
You're really swell, I have to admit you deserve expressions that really fit you. And so I've racked my brain, hoping to explain all the things that you do to me.
By mere bis du chêne, please let me explain. By mere bis du chêne means you're grand. By mere bis du chêne, again I'll explain. It means you're fairest in the land. I could say Bella, Bella, even say wunderbar. Each language only helps me tell you how grand you are. I've tried to explain by mere bis du chêne, so kiss me and say you'll understand. By mere bis du chêne, you heard it all before, but let me try to explain. By mere bis du chêne means that you're grand. By mere bis du chêne, it's such an old refrain, and yet I should explain. It means I am begging for your hand. I could say Bella, Bella, even say wunderbar. Each language only helps me tell you how grand you are. Reedy, 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 reedy. I could say Bella, Bella, even say wunderbar. Each language only helps me tell you how grand you are. I've tried to explain by mere bis du chêne, so kiss me and say that you will understand.
Sorry, got a little frog in my throat there. Our next song is a very beautiful ballad that was sung very often during weddings back in the 40s, and it's called I'll Be With You in Apple Blossom Time.
I'll be with you in apple blossom time. I'll be with you to change your name to church bells will chime. You will be mine in apple blossom time. I'll be with you when in apple blossom time. Then what will you do? And I'll be with you to change your name to mine. When will that be? One day, maybe in May. Then what will you do? I'll come and say to you, dear, happy the bride when the sun shines on this day. Then what a wonderful wedding there will be one day in May. What a very, very wonderful day for you and me, dear. Church bells will chime. You will be mine when in apple blossom time.
All right, this next tune is a tune the Andrews Sisters did. It's a little bit more upbeat. I think you're going to enjoy this one. It's called Beat Me Daddy, A to the Bar.
In a little honky-tonky village in Texas, there's a guy who plays the best piano by far. He can play piano any way that you like it, but the way he likes to play is A to the bar. When he plays, it's a ball. He's the daddy of them all. The people gather around when he gets on the stand. Then when he plays, he gets a hand. The rhythm he beats puts the cats in a trance. Nobody there bothers to dance, but when he plays with the bass and guitar, they holler out, beat me, daddy, A to the bar. A blink, a blank, a blink, a blank, a blink, a blank, a plunking on the keys. A riff, a rap, a riff, a rap, a riff, a rap, a riff, and up with ease. But when he plays with the bass and guitar, they holler out, beat me, daddy, A to the bar. He plays the boogie, he plays A to the bar, the boogie woogie. That is the way he likes to play on his piano. And they all know that when he plays, he puts them all in a trance. The cats all holler hooray. You hear him say, beat me daddy, A to the bar. In a little honky-tonky village in Texas, there's a guy who plays the best piano by far. But when he plays with the bass and guitar, he hollers, beat me out, daddy, beat me, daddy, A to the bar. The people gather around when he gets up on the stand. Then when he plays, he gets a hand. The rhythm that he plays puts the cats in a trance. Nobody there ever bothers to dance, but when he plays with the bass and guitar, they holler out, beat me, daddy, A to the bar. A blink, blink, a blank, blank, a blink, a blank, a blink, a blank, a plunking on the keys. A riff, riff, a rap, rap, a riff, a rap, a riff, a rap, a riff, and out with these. And when he plays with the bass and guitar, they holler out, beat me, daddy, A to the bar.
Well, I don't know if we can sing this next tune. I'm not sure this crowd is mature enough for the lyrics.
My dad was Marine, and I'm going to tell you, they can handle the lyrics.
All righty.
No problem.
Well, this song was banned from the radio in the 1940s because its lyrics contained reference to drinking and hanky-panky and a certain beverage. It's called... You want to come on up here and say... No, baby, they might come up. It's called Rum and Coca-Cola.
If you ever go down Trinidad, they make you feel so very glad. Calypso, sing and make up rhyme, guarantee you one real good fine time. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down Point Cumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. Beat it, man. Since the Yankee come to Trinidad, they got the young girls all going mad. Young girls say they treat 'em nice, make Trinidad like paradise. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down Point Cumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. You vex me. From Chickachickarry to Mona's Isle, native girls all dance and smile. Help soldiers celebrate his leave. Make every day like a New Year's Eve. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down Point Cumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. It's a fact, man. It's a fact. In old Trinidad, I also fear the situation is mighty clear. Like the Yankee girl, the native swoon when she hears the bingo croon. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down Point Cumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. Out on Manzanella Beach, GI romance with native peach. All night long make tropic love. Next day sit in hot sun and cool off. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down Point Cumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. Beat it, man, just a beat it. Rum and Coca-Cola. Rum and Coca-Cola, working for the Yankee dollar. Okay, this is another really popular Andrew Sister song. Don't sit under the apple tree with anybody else but her. I wrote my mother, I wrote my father, and now I'm writing you too. I'm sure of mother, I'm sure of father, and now I wanna be sure, very, very sure of you. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me, anyone else but me, anyone else but me. No, 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 don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home. Don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. No, no, no. Don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me. Till I come marching home. I just got word from a girl who heard from the girl next door to me. The boy she met just loves to pet, and it fits you to a T. So don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me, till I come marching home. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me, with anyone else but her. No, 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 not a single soul but me. No, 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 don't you sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. Not till you see me, not till you see me marching home. Home, 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 sweet home. Don't go up and down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me, with anyone else but her. No, 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 not a single soul but me. No, 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 don't you go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me. Not till you see me, not till you see me marching home. Home, 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 sweet home. Just wait like I'm marching home. So don't go walking down Lover's Lane, no, walking down Lover's Lane till you see me. When you see me marching home, then we'll go arm in arm and we'll sit down under the apple tree. Baby, just you and me, when I come marching home.
It was so nice of you to get our trio a cake. We'll enjoy that later. Thank you so much. We need another fork.
Yeah, there's only two. You don't get to eat.
I'm just kidding. All right, so before we do the next song, I just wanted to say, I did tell you that my dad was a Marine during the Korean War. He was sergeant of a machine gun platoon, and I didn't realize till I was a full-grown adult, taking him to the VA, that he grew me up like a little Marine. Like we grew up with total Marine values. I had no idea. And this next song has nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with that. But it is a local street that's very famous here. Route 66. So here you go, your first time hearing a female trio do this song.
If you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. It winds from Chicago to LA. More than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Now go through St. Louis and Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City is mighty, mighty pretty, you see. Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hit to this timely tip? When you make that California trip, get your kicks on Route 66. get Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tip? For 2,000 miles if you make that California trip. I want to see LA. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route. Get your kicks on. Get your kicks on Route 66. Oh, yeah.
All right, this next song is a lesser-known Andrews Sisters tune. It's about three little sisters, and they were each in love with a different fella from a different branch of the military. One was in love with a fella from the Army, one with a fella from the Navy, and one with a fella from the Marines.
Of course.
There was no
The
Air
best
Force
one.
yet, because that wasn't formed till 1947. I don't know, the Coast Guard, that fella must have just been out at sea and missed the boat. So he didn't get a girl.
I think we ran out of sisters.
Or we
was the
ran out
problem.
of sisters, maybe that was it. But please enjoy Three Little Sisters.
There were three little sisters, and each one only in her teens. One loved a soldier, one loved a sailor, and one loved a lad from the Marines. Oh, the three little sisters, they were the fairest, from Iceland to the Philippines. So said the soldier, so said the sailor, and so said the lad from the Marines. And when the boys marched away, the girls said they'd be true until the boys came back one day. Now the three little sisters, stay home and read their magazine. You can tell it to the soldier, tell it to the sailor, and tell it to the Marine. Now these three little sisters, two little sisters of mine, and each one only in her teens. One loved a soldier, and one loved a sailor boy, and I loved the guy from the Marines. Now my two little sisters, they were the fairest of all, from Iceland right down to the Philippines. So said the soldier, and so said the sailor boy, and so said the guy from the Marines. And when the boys marched away, the girls said they'd be true until the boys marched back one day. Now those three little sisters stay home, and read their magazine. You can tell it to the soldier, tell it to the sailor, oh, tell it to the Marine.
There was too many threes, though. Two threes. Four. All right, our next song. You guys have done this already this evening. We heard you, but we're going to sing the Armed Forces Branch Medley for you, and we'd really appreciate it if you would stand when your song is being sung so we can applaud you again.
And sing along with us, even with food in your mouth.
First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. For it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off their cadence loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will we sail at break of day. Through our last night on shore, dream to the fall, until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy voyage home. Sing with us! From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battle in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine, of United States Marine. Heroes ready for the call, we place our trust in thee. Through surf and storm and howling gale, high shall our purpose be. Semper Paratus is our guide, our fame, our glory too. To fight, to save, or fight and die. High Coast Guard, we are for you. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, swimming to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun. Down we dive, sliding to flame from under. Off with one terrible roar. We live in fame, we go down in flames. Nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
Thank you all for your service. I guess we need to learn a Space Force song.
There's no sheet music for it yet.
There's
so
no
we haven't-
track either.
There's nothing yet.
Yeah, they need to get on that. All right, this next tune is another famous one from the 1940s. We hope you'll enjoy this. It's called I'll Be Seeing You. I think they know it. They might know it.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through.
Well, this next song is one of the oldest songs we know. It was written way back in 1911. Who remembers that? I was going to say, if you do, you look great. It is called Alexander's Ragtime Band.
Oh my honey, better hurry and let's meander. Ain't you going to the meter man, ragged meter man? Oh my honey, let me take you to Alexander's grandstand brass band. Ain't you coming along? Come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Come on in here, it's the best band in the land. They can play a bugle call like you never heard before. So natural that you want to go to war. That's just the bestest band, what am? My honey lamb, come on along. Let me take you by the hand. Up to the man, who's the leader of the band. And if you care to hear that Swanee River play in ragtime, come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Do 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 do, they gotta do do. Do 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 do, they gotta do do. Do 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 do, they gotta do do do, they gotta do. They gotta do 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 do. Come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Come on in here. It's the best band in the land. They can play a bugle call like you never heard before. So natural that you want to go to war. That's just the bestest band, what am? Oh, honey lamb, come on along, let me take you by the hand. Up to the man, who's the leader of the band. And if you care to hear that Swanee River play in ragtime, come on in here, let's hear Alexander's ragtime band. Let's go! Come on along, let me take you by the hand. Up to the man who's the leader of the band. And if you care to hear that Swanee River play in ragtime, come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man at his craft. But then his number came up and he was gone in the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. He can't seem to understand. Because the next day the Cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. A root, a toot, a Juilliard, a toot. He blows an eight to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar are playing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. He was the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
And when he plays boogie woogie bugle, he was busy as a buzz bee.
And when he plays, he makes the company jump eight to the bar. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. Doo-doo-doo-doo-yada-doo-doo-doo. He blows it eight to the bar. He can't blow it out unless the bass and guitar playing with him.
And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. puts the boys to sleep with boogie every night and wakes them up the same way in the early bride. They clap their hands and stamp their feet because they know how to play. So someone gives him a beat, he really breaks it up when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. Da 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 da. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
All right, our final song for the evening. I think it's probably one of our very favorite patriotic songs. It ranks right up there with the Star Spangled Banner, and we. What? I was going to. My mom here has to help me out. And we're going to ask you to join us when we sing through it the second time. So try really hard to wait because it is a really great song, and you're going to want to sing it with us the whole time. Anyway.
While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us pledge allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer, in a solemn prayer. God bless America. Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Please join us singing one more time. God bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, America, my home.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and happy birthday.
Happy Thank you for having us, and God bless you all.
Brother Graham, you will muster all active duty and veteran Marines here and assembled in a single rank at the foot of the stage facing the audience.
All Marines to the front of the stage, facing the audience, now.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battle here and on the sea. First we fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Brother Graham, are you in possession of the cutting implement?
Yes.
Let's see. You will now cut the cake and feed a piece from the oldest Marine or from the youngest Marine, whomever you have now declared that to be, to the oldest Marine present. There was some discussion because it involved math. No. The oldest Marine, is a Korean War veteran who was at the Battle of the Chosin Reservoir. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Colonel Todd Zink, United States Marine Corps retired. A USC graduate and career Marine officer, Colonel Zink has served our nation for more than 3 decades, from the streets of Los Angeles during the riots to the deserts of Iraq and Afghanistan. His distinguished service includes leading elite force recon Marines, coordinating coalition operations across multiple nations, and serving as Inspector General for the 4th Marine Division. In civilian life, he continues his commitment to justice as a Deputy District Attorney for the Los Angeles County, prosecuting violent crimes and protecting our communities. A decorated Marine, a devoted husband, and the father of 2, Colonel Zink embodies the courage, discipline, and integrity we honor tonight. Colonel Zink, please join me on stage.
Well, I want to say thank you very much for having me as your guest speaker tonight. And it is an honor, truly it's an honor for me to be able to speak before this crowd that's here to support the Marine Corps and veterans. And I just want to give a special thanks because this is the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. But before I get into my speech here, I do want to make specific thank yous for the Satellite Rotary Club of the Military Family Support and all that you do. Raymond Foster, who sought me out as your guest speaker with his background, and then the Making Spirits Bright, the Senator Susan Rubio, the Mayor Emmett Badar, I spoke to as well from LAPD. But also I wanted to make a special recognition before I get into my remarks about my grandfather, who I never knew, who served in World War II, from the Fresno area. He was a Rotarian, in that area, as well as a Freemason. So I figured I needed to mention him. My wife is here, Kristen, who drove here with me tonight, and my sons, Hunter and Connor, who are off in college right now. Both are Eagle Scouts, so they have an understanding of the Rotary Club's motto, service above self. And that's kind of why we're here. We're not just celebrating the Marines, but we're also celebrating all veterans who put service above themselves. So without further ado, I do want to talk, and I'm going to talk. You're probably looking at me, well, you don't have my photo up there, but you're looking at me right now and you're like, who is this guy with this, with this beard? My beard was actually quite a bit longer just a few days ago, and I recently climbed a mountain over by Mount Whitney with a friend of mine who's a ranger, and you have to, so I do get called to the mountains every now and then, but I want to assure you that I'm here to tell you something based on my 30 years in the Marine Corps, from being in Somalia into the invasion of Iraq, and then later on in the surge of Afghanistan. And what I want to focus on is the motto of the Marine Corps. The motto of the Marine Corps, if you don't know it already, is Semper Fidelis. And Semper Fidelis is a Latin word that means always faithful. This motto is our guiding principle. In 2 words, it summarizes the ethos of the United States Marine Corps since its founding that we're here tonight to celebrate. It is that guiding principle, it is that light of our eternal, selfless spirit as U.S. Marines. And how is this represented in this motto? It's based on faith, as it states in the motto. But this faith is not by cheap grace. It's earned at the price of blood. For there is no better friend than a Marine who is willing to lay down his life for his fellow Marines. It's also based on truth, not a half-truth. When Marines commit themselves to any cause, we're all in. We don't leave anything on the outside. It's a way of life. This way of life is that we are the first to call, the first to go to the fight, and the first to answer the call. When we are called, we say, "Here I am, send me." And then lastly, it is a life, when you're in uniform or outside of uniform, that you feel the most alive. Now, with this motto of Semper Fidelis, over the last 250 years, our faith in the Marine Corps and in the country has been tested. And I'm going to start where it all began. In November 10th, 1775, in Philadelphia, in the city of brotherly love, in a small tun tavern by the wharf, the very first Marines were recruited on this day 250 years ago. Now, I'm sure a few pints of fresh ale got them to sign on that dotted line. But they probably didn't really fully realize what they were signing up for as those first recruits. But they soon found out, because literally just 8 months later, just down the street from Tun Tavern at Independence Hall, a bell rang. It was the Liberty Bell that rang to declare to the world our independence from an earthly king. And it was a call to arms for our nation. For the next 1.5 years, our country didn't have much to celebrate. There weren't any battles that were being won. In fact, we could barely keep our force together. It was barely financed. We had Valley Forge, where these Continental Army recruits were thinking about going home. But there was one individual that kept the faith, that was always faithful in these darkest days of our early country. And that was George Washington. George Washington always was faithful. He kept the faith even during this time when it seemed almost hopeless that we'd be able to beat the King of England. So he mounted up his troops and he said, "Get on board." And they loaded boats in the night on December 25, 1776. And they crossed the Delaware as one. And they had God on their side due to the faith of George Washington and others like him. And they overtook the Hessian mercenaries by surprise, who weren't fighting for such a cause. They weren't fighting for these unalienable rights endowed by our Creator that had never been heard on the earth before. They were fighting for money. So after that victory in Delaware, across the Delaware River, America prevailed in our War of Independence. But that wasn't the time to give up on faith, because George Washington, our country was barely getting it together. The Articles of Confederation weren't keeping us together. And then they went back to the city of brotherly love, and they wrote this Constitution. And on 1789, several years after the end of the war, our first president gave his oath of office at Federal Hall in Lower Manhattan. And in his prepared oath, he had his right hand on the Bible, his truth. And he had his left hand over his heart, because that's where the Spirit was in George Washington. And George Washington added something to that oath that has been repeated ever since. At the end of that oath, he said, "So help me God," as he's looking across the Atlantic Ocean to this earthly king who had absolute power over us. Because this was going to be a new world, a new order, far different than the old order across the Atlantic. George Washington, this is a throw-out for all you Freemasons. Obviously, we didn't stay in New York, thank God. We moved our capital to Washington, D.C. And George Washington, a Freemason, was part of a ceremony who laid the first cornerstone of our Capitol building, our people's house that serves us. And on that stone, that perfect cornerstone, was inscribed military valor and prudence. So that was the first test of our faithfulness as a nation and as a corps. And out of that was our United States first motto, similarly worded in Latin as Semper Fidelis. It says E pluribus unum. That was drafted in 1776. It's written on our currency, and it means out of many, one. And George Washington embodied that as he rallied the troops to cross the Delaware as one. So what was our second test that I want to touch on? I'm only going to touch on 3, so this is number 2. But the second test of our faithfulness, which occurred about 70 years thereafter, and this conflict, this test, wasn't against a paternal, earthbound king. This was a test within our own borders. Brother against brother. A brother who wanted unity and another brother who wanted separation. I'm speaking of the Battle of Gettysburg. That was a low point in that war, where we lost over 620,000 men. In that battle, the South had pushed into Pennsylvania and was hoping to turn the tables in their favor. But the courage, the faith of the men who fought on that battlefield prevailed. In addition to those men, one man who never gave up hope throughout the entire Civil War, despite losing his own son, was Abraham Lincoln. So he goes up there, almost as an afterthought, to give an address for this cemetery in Gettysburg in November, 4 months later. And while he is there, he walks upon the ground and he says, "I cannot hollow this ground," because there's one above him who could only do that. And he went on to say, "These men will not die in vain. We will form a new nation with freedom, a new birth, and this government will be of the people, by the people, and for the people." That was a turning point in the Civil War. We prevailed. We kept the faith against all odds and prevailed in the Civil War. And when Abraham Lincoln came back to D.C. during his second inaugural address, towards the end of that war, his words embodied his faithfulness. Having lost so many men and so much blood that had been spilt, Abraham Lincoln chose these words in his second inaugural address: "With malice towards none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right." He did these words to heal our nation. 41 days after giving those faithful words, he was assassinated. He paid the ultimate sacrifice to preserve this union. Also during this time frame, there were coins that the North was stamping out. And on those coins, there was a phrase that boosted morale. It made people turn to faith. And it said, "In God we trust." Furthermore, during his latter days, that same Capitol building that George Washington had laid the cornerstone on, the dome was being constructed. That beautiful dome on the people's house, on the hill, the highest point in that area. And upon that dome is a statue. You can't see it, it's too far away, but there's a statue, and it's called the Statue of Freedom. And emblazed and engraved upon the base of that statue is nothing other than our guiding principle as Americans: E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. As a reminder for all of our public servants who have the privilege to lead us in that people's house, to follow as their guiding principle. So we passed the second test in our faithfulness of always remaining faithful. And that faithfulness allowed us to fulfill our motto, our first motto of E pluribus unum, out of many, one. And that brings us to our third test that I'm here to speak to you tonight. And that is World War II. World War II was a test that wasn't within our borders, brother against brother. It was nation versus nation, tyranny versus freedom, on a global scale that we have yet to see since that time. There was a lot at stake. If you were a betting man, you wouldn't have betted on the United States. We were the 17th most powerful military at the beginning of that war. But the tables started to turn on June 6, 1944, when General Dwight Eisenhower gave the order to go from sea to land on D-Day. And that order, as our leader over there, he took full responsibility for the outcome of that operation. So that turned the tables in the Eastern Front, in the European theater. And then in the Pacific, the Marines were put to the test in a manner they had never been tested like before. Again, from the sea, the Marines landed on a little-known island called Iwo Jima. And their spirit was tested. And the bond of their eternal spirit was tested under fire. And they prevailed because God was on their side. And their adversary worshiped an emperor god, an earthly god. And that's where you had the iconic raising of the American flag on Mount Suribachi that became symbolic of the entire war. So we prevailed in World War II against the odds because we kept the faith. The faith in this country was off the charts during this war because we realized it's just not our own abilities that was going to allow us to prevail. We would have to turn to faith. But Dwight Eisenhower, who never sought presidential office, was approached by both parties to be the presidential candidate. He ended up becoming president, as we know, and he kept his faith, even as president. And if you recall your history, you know at this time, even though we just finished this horrific war, there was a new threat on the horizon. And this was a different threat. This was the communist. The communists are atheists. And it was a global conflict. It polarized the world from free states to those who embrace communism. And you can only be an atheist if you're going to be a communist. Dwight D. Eisenhower saw this. He saw in the European theater the Iron Curtain raising up that split that continent in half based on those ideological differences. And in Korea, and I give a salute to this man here who served, in Korea, you had the Korean War, where the Chinese invaded the Korean Peninsula. Dwight D. Eisenhower, in 1950, was the Chosun Reservoir, and I would highly encourage you to read the history of the Chosun Reservoir. Probably one of the most gruesome battles the Marine Corps has ever participated in. I happened to be I had the privilege to serve with 1st Marine Division for most of my career. And there's a documentary called Chosun that interviews men like this who served. And you will have a renewed higher respect for combat veterans who go through such battles. Dwight D. Eisenhower, as a former general, went to the front lines in 1952, went to Seoul, and saw Seoul destroyed by the communist North. And back in the White House, he would go to a church near the White House that Abraham Lincoln would frequently attend. And in that church, Dwight D. Eisenhower would hear the pastor say repeatedly in his sermons, "In God we trust. In God we trust." That same pastor would later would participate in the civil rights movement at Selmar Bridge. But Dwight D. Eisenhower was so taken by this phrase, "In God we trust," he sponsored a piece of legislation before the People's House, our Congress, to give us a new motto, a new guiding principle to follow as Americans, to counter the rise of the communist atheist. In God we trust. That piece of legislation passed unanimously in both houses. That shows where we were and how faithful we were at that time frame. So we passed that test by always remaining faithful, and how always remaining faithful allowed us to fulfill our guiding principles as a nation out of many one, and in God we trust. So that leads us to the modern era, post 9/11, which personally touched my soul. I had already been on active duty for many years, had served all over the world in East Asia, but when that happened, I couldn't do anything for 3 days. And I volunteered to join the reserves, which I did not anticipate doing, and never looked back. And I had the fortune to serve with 1st Marine Division with General Mattis on the march up the Mesopotamian Valley to take the eastern side of Baghdad. And if you don't know who General Mad Dog Mattis is, I know the Marines know who he is. He's our modern day MacArthur, Patton. He's that type of fighter. But he coined a phrase, no better friend, no worst enemy. And I think that does summarize the Marines. So where we are today, what is going to be in this country today, what is going to be the next test for the Marine Corps in its guiding principle of Semper Fidelis, always faithful? What's going to be the test for our nation and our 2 guiding principles? Out of many one, and in God we trust. Where is the battlefield going to be this next test? And I would say to you, that gentleman just nailed it. He pointed here. The next battle is going to be for the heart and soul of each one of us. Because this battle is being waged with information, with words, to move us in one direction or the other, to get us to separate ourselves from our faithfulness as Marines who are always faithful, from the country and God we trust, and to confuse us and to cause confusion and conflict. You're going to have 2 battlefronts. You're going to have truth and you're going to have deceit. You're going to have selflessness. I should go this way. Selflessness and selfishness. You're going to have unity and you're going to have division. You're going to have faithfulness and you're going to have godlessness. So in closing, Semper Fidelis, may it always be the Marine Corps' motto, and may the Marines embody that motto to their core, in or out of uniform, because it represents that we will always be truthful, we will always be ready. We will always be ready to answer the call, to be first to fight for the good fight. Here, there, wherever. And to keep in mind that our example in and out of uniform serves as a light for our nation, to light a path for our neighbors onto their feet, if need be, to fulfill their national mottos of out of many one, and in God we trust, for another 250 years. God bless the Marines, and may God bless America.
Colonel, so as a token of our appreciation, this book has been signed by every veteran in this room, and it is a history of the United States Marine Corps that's leather bound. Please accept it as a token of our appreciation and a memory of this event for us.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much. You're welcome. Now hear this. Stand to hear the words of the Commandant of the United States Marine Corps.
Since the birth of the Corps, we have answered the call. Through every battle, every climb, in every place. No matter the odds, no matter the obstacle. We adapt, we overcome, and close with and destroy the enemy. We know the future will not be the same, but the one thing we know will always remain is the Marine. For 250 years, we have formed ranks and held the line. And we will for the next 250.
Marine Corps is a far-flung organization. Detachments of Marines are serving in every Navy yard, naval station, and guarding every naval activity everywhere in the world. I visited a great many of those places. Everywhere I heard expressions of goodwill towards the Marines. Everywhere I observed the friendly relations existing between the people and the Marines.
For 2.5 centuries, we have shouldered the responsibility of freedom on behalf of our nation. Every battle fought, and every sacrifice made has been etched into our legacy.
We're Marines. We always find a way to work things out. No matter what happens anywhere, we can make something happen that'll turn the tide of battle.
We are that adaptable to whatever the situation is. We trust our corporals with more responsibility, our lieutenants with more responsibility, our lieutenant colonels with more responsibility than any other branch of service, because we do more with less. There's no other branch that can do that.
It's by far the greatest institution still in my mind on the face of the planet, because not everybody can be a Marine. You have to earn the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. And I think that's what attracts the type of people that the Marine Corps has.
Every Marine who has earned the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor bears a responsibility that stands the test of time to the Marines, past, present, and future.
We don't join the Marine Corps. We are the Marine Corps. Core of our being is that we're convinced we're the best fighting force in the world, and the truth is, we are.
I believe the immediate bond between Marines is so strong just because of the way we're trained. We have a very specific niche culture of, greatness, our heritage, our warrior ethos. I think all those things, separate us, and we find them in each other.
You may have a reason why you join, but there's a reason why you stay. You stay because of everything you're learning about how to be a warrior, how to maintain those warrior ethics, so that when that bomb goes off, you're ready to do your part.
As Marines, our warrior mindset is something that can never be defeated. For 250 years, the Marine Corps has been successful because that's the only option. Success is all we know.
The character of war has and will continue to change. We have adapted, evolved, and innovated, but our warrior spirit remains consistent.
The nature of war is taking something that somebody else has that you want, and it's never changed, probably never will change. The character of war, however, has changed a lot. World War II, we used ships, planes, bombs. All the way to today, we use, as you can tell by the news, we use ships, planes, bombs. We just have a lot better technology.
I don't know that one battlefield's ever been the same for any generation. the types of war, the ways of war, all that is constantly going to be changing. What's going to decide our next and our future wars is not going to be the technology, it's not going to be money, it's going to be the level of the belief of our people, of what they believe in, and the standards that they hold themselves to.
We are more lethal, more capable, and more ready than ever, while grounded in the traditions that made us who we are. We will not win the next fight on platforms alone. It is the Marine who will break the will of the enemy.
As Marines, I believe the most powerful aspect of our training and such an important part of who we are, holding on to that history that came before us. The Marine Corps is lethal because of our willingness and our eagerness to take the fight to the enemy in any climb or place and win those battles, sometimes at any cost.
Our history is not only a story of battles won, it is a story of people, of commitment, of family. An unbreakable bond that transcends ranks and lasts a lifetime.
I think the only way to honor them is to live a life that's worthy of their sacrifices. And the only way that you can do that is by going out and being the best that you can be, by going out and by still upholding those standards as a Marine, by celebrating them, by telling their stories and giving the next generation some legacy to live up to.
Cream rises to the top. And that's what we have in the Marine Corps today. The Marine Corps is the operational Marine Corps. But there's another aspect of the Marine Corps. It's the former Marines or former active duty who are out there in all walks of life. It's amazing when you think of it.
Being in service was a privilege. It was the best time of our lives, but it was a sacrifice. And your family is part of that sacrifice. And Marine wives or Marine spouses, they deserve a lot of credit as well. The kids being uprooted, moving, it's a sacrifice to serve our country.
Without the support of their loved ones and their immediate family, it's hard for them to complete their job. So again, it's so important for military families and Marine Corps families to understand that their role and the role that they play in supporting their loved one while serving is just as important.
For 250 years, we have proven there is no better friend and no worse enemy than a U.S. Marine.
For those people who wish evil upon the greater good, David Bellavia said it best, somebody else will raise your children.
To the enemies of our nation, don't get comfortable. Whether you're in the air, at sea, or on the ground. We adapt. We always have, and we always will.
If it comes down to one-on-one, mano a mano, and you turn us loose, I can promise you this, you're not going to survive.
From our first amphibious landing at Nassau, to the black sands of Iwo Jima, to urban combat in Fallujah, our Corps has come a long way since Samuel Nichols first took command of 2 battalions at Tun Tavern. Though weapons, platforms, and technology continue to evolve, our individual Marines' grit, discipline, resolve remain our decisive advantage.
For 2.5 centuries, Marines have preserved our legacy as America's premier expeditionary force, because we are forward, ready, and lethal. When the moment a Marine earns their Eagle Globe and Anchor, they inherit a rich tradition of honor, courage, and commitment, a legacy that is etched on our souls forever. Our history is one of winning our nation's battle, and make no mistake, we will be called to fight again. We will be ready, and we will win.
Since our foundation, we have fought in every climb and place, upholding our oath and preserving who we are, the few and the proud. But we cannot break stride. We must continue to train for the next fight, because victory will go to those who seize the initiative, impose their will, and never yield. The pursuit of excellence in the profession of arms is our heritage, forged by an unbreakable fighting spirit. The memorial behind us stands as a testament to that fact. We stand on the shoulders of the giants that came before us. We must not fail them. The challenge is on all of us every day to uphold the standard that the title Marine demands.
Happy 250th birthday, Marines. Semper Fidelis.
The Paul Harris Fellow Award is one of the highest honors bestowed by Rotary International. It was created to recognize individuals who exemplify Rotary's enduring motto, service above self. Named after Rotary's founder, Paul P. Harris, the award celebrates outstanding contributions to humanitarian efforts, community service, and the promotion of goodwill and peace. While it may be presented to anyone, Rotarians or non-Rotarians, it is reserved for those whose lives reflect Rotary's ideals through leadership, philanthropy, and an unwavering commitment to improve the lives of others. Would District Governor Gilda Moshier and Mayor Emmett Badar join me on stage?
It is an honor to be here with you tonight and to recognize an impeccable community leader. I don't know about you, but I just got goosebumps watching that video. How many of you got goosebumps watching that video? To celebrate this historic day of 250 years of the Marine Corps, the only thing I can say is to Colonel Zink, I have 2 Eagle Scouts as well. That's my only only service. We've served with them, right? You all know that. So it is my honor to recognize Emmett. This year, the Rotary Club of San Dimas proudly recognizes Emmett Badar, or Bader. Which one do you prefer?
Badar.
Okay, very good.
Radar with a B.
All right, Badar. As a Paul Harris Fellow for his decades of dedicated service to the San Dimas community and beyond. Elected to the San Dimas City Council in 2007 and re-elected in every subsequent election, Councilmember Badar has been a steadfast advocate for civic engagement, responsible governance, and community development. His prior service on the Planning Commission, including 2 years as chairman, and his representation of San Dimas on regional boards such as the Pomona Valley Transportation Authority and the Foothill Transit Zone Joint Powers Authority, demonstrate his deep commitment to improving the quality of life for residents throughout the San Gabriel and Pomona Valleys. Beyond civic leadership, his 36-year career in law enforcement and service as a United States Marine Corps veteran reflect a lifetime devoted to public safety, integrity, and service to others. Please recognize the Paul Harris Fellow.
We also have certificates of recognition both from the California State Legislature, the Assembly, and from, and LA County does the best, but how beautiful this certificate of recognition is for, they have some money, that's all. There it is. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
On your table, you'll find white donation envelopes, and on page 11 of your program, there's a QR code for Zelle giving. Throughout the evening, whether it's dinner, the entertainment, the keynote address, or simply the mission itself that moves you, we invite you to make a contribution here tonight. Every gift, large or small, helps us continue serving those who serve our nation. The title of Gold Star Family is reserved for those who have lost a military member in the line of duty. It serves as a poignant tribute to the service members' ultimate sacrifice and acknowledges the profound grief and ongoing healing of their family. Although the United States is not currently engaged in a conflict as all-encompassing as World War II, the number of living Gold Star families is substantial, more substantial than one might assume. According to a Military Times article, after the tragic events of 9/11, over 16,000 service members have lost their lives in non-combat situations, which is with an additional 7,000 making the ultimate sacrifice in Iraq and Afghanistan wars alone. Furthermore, there are thousands of living Gold Star families who endure the loss of loved ones in conflicts ranging from World War I and II to the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the various other conflicts throughout the 20th and 21st century. Tonight, we will be honoring a San Dimas Gold Star mother. We are honored to have Senator Susan Rubio with us this evening as the representative of California's 22nd Senate District. Senator Rubio has dedicated her career to public service and advocacy, previously serving as a public school teacher and as an elected official in the Baldwin Park for over 13 years. She's the first Latina chair of the State Senate Insurance Committee and a strong proponent of legislation addressing domestic violence. Our senator will be assisting us in honoring our Gold Star mother for her incredible sacrifice. Tonight, we honor Eloise Logan. Would you please come up on the stage? A proud Gold Star mother whose son Jim Logan made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation 2 months before earning his wings as a U.S. Navy pilot. Jim was tragically killed in a training accident in Pensacola, Florida at the age of 26. His twin brother, Joe Logan, continued to serve as a pilot in the United States Marine Corps, carrying forward the same spirit of dedication, courage, and love of country that defined his brother's life. Eloise's strength, grace, quiet patriotism remind us that cost of freedom is borne not only by those in uniform, but also by the families that loved him.
Well, first of all, happy birthday to all our Marines. Big round of applause to you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for the privilege of being in your presence. I always feel not worthy of just being among you. Thank you not only to the Marines, but every single service member. I also come from a military family, so I do understand that anguish for a parent to know that their child is overseas and have to wonder whether or not they're going to come home. But today I'm here to honor this extraordinary mother. It is important that we take a pause and recognize that while we're celebrating the valor of our service members, we also have to celebrate the valor of the mothers and the families that stay behind. And today, with great honor, I want to honor you. As we heard, not only does she give up one son to our country, but she's also given us another, his twin brother, who also served, and that is admirable. I just want to say to all the mothers out there, all the Gold Star mothers, we honor you alongside our service members. We know that your grief and everything that you sacrifice is woven into the fabric of what makes us Americans, what makes us patriots, and your patriotism really should be commended. So I want to honor you with the recognition, if I may. And this is from the state of California to this wonderful woman next to me, Eloise Logan. Thank you so much on behalf of the California State Senate. It is my honor to recognize your courage, strength, and enduring love, which embodies the highest ideals of patriotism. We acknowledge the immeasurable sacrifice made by your beloved son, U.S. Navy pilot Jim Logan, who gave his life in service to the United States of America. Through your sacrifice, the legacy of your son's service lives on, inspiring future generations and reminding us of the true cost of freedom. With profound respect and eternal thank you, we honor you as a Gold Star mother. And please, a big round of applause to this patriot and this wonderful mother.
Our purpose tonight is to provide Christmas gifts to junior enlisted families. Wood Rotarians Dominic Torres, Mike Wallace, and the Making Spirits Bright Committee join me on stage. Come on up here. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the San Dimas Rotary Club, the Rotary Foundation, I'm honored to be here with Mike Wallace of the Rotary Club of San Dimas and Dominic Torres from the Satellite Rotary Club of Military Family Support. As we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States Marine Corps, we're also celebrating how far this partnership has come. What began 5 years ago as serving 2 Marine Corps bases has grown, and thanks to Making Spirits Bright Committee joining Rotary, now includes Fort Irwin, the Los Angeles Air Force Base, and Coast Guard Base Los Angeles Long Beach. That growth means new ways to serve. Recently, outside of all our drives, 900 pairs of shoes went to various military families. Over 5,000 dozen eggs were delivered last week, and toys and bicycles packed Teresa's office. I've seen them. And we have a toy drive continuing through December 6th. Tonight, we're here proud to present this $5,000 donation to help keep that mission moving forward. Together, we're not just making spirits bright, we're lighting up the lives across Southern California's military families. Thank you, ladies. Before you tonight, you may notice a small, solitary place setting, set for one, yet symbolizing many. It's known as the Absent Companions Table, a poignant reminder of those who cannot be with us this evening. The empty chair represents the men and women who served with honor but never returned, whose voices are now silent, but whose sacrifice still speaks. The single candle burns in their memory. The inverted glass shows that they cannot join our toast, and the limit upon the plate reminds us of their bitter fate. Though they are absent from our sight, they remain forever present in our hearts. The history of the Absent Companions Toast can be traced back to the American Civil War. During this tumultuous period, soldiers would raise a glass in memory of fallen comrades who could not be present to join in the celebration. Over time, this practice has evolved into a more formalized ritual. In the military, the toast often occurs during formal dinners and reunions and other gatherings where service members come together. It serves as a moment of reflection and remembrance, highlighting the enduring camaraderie, the profound impact of military service on individual lives. The purpose of the Absent Companions Toast is to pay tribute to those who cannot be present, emphasizing the importance of their contribution and sacrifices. It serves as a reminder to the enduring bonds forged in challenging circumstances and the unbreakable connection among service members. Tonight, we dedicate our Absent Companions Toast to worshipful brother Richard B. Wood. Would Brother Gunnery Sergeant Larry Graham and Brother Wood's widow, Christy, join me on stage? Ladies and gentlemen, I suggest in preparation of the toast, charge a glass with water, tea, or lemonade. Tonight we honor Corporal Rick B. Wood, United States Marine Corps, our absent companion. Rick served with courage and distinction from 1965 to 1967 as a mortarman in Vietnam, earning a Silver Star, 2 Purple Hearts, and multiple campaign medals for valor and sacrifice. Those who knew him remember a man of honor, grit, and humor, someone who faced danger with quiet strength and never sought recognition. He once said, "Fear doesn't make you weak, it means you're still alive," a lesson that defined his life long after the war. So tonight, we raise a glass to Corporal Wood, absent but never forgotten. Just thought you wanted to stand up here with me. I appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you so much.
To our absent companions, brothers and sisters from every branch who stood the watch, carried a mission, and lived with honor. Though their seats are empty tonight, their spirit fills the room. Their laughter, courage, and sacrifice remind us why we serve. We raise our glass to their memory, to their legacy, to the freedom they helped preserve. Until we meet again, to our absent companions.
I call on Jeff Bird to conduct our benediction. That means it's getting close to quitting time, folks.
Almighty Father, whose command is over all and whose love never fails. As we come to the close of this historic evening, celebrating a quarter millennium of the United States Marine Corps, we offer our heartfelt thanks. We are grateful for your divine presence and protection throughout 250 years of service. We ask for you to continue to bless us, all who wear the eagle, globe, anchor, and other branches of the armed services. Keep us strong in body, mind, and safe in our service across every clime and place where we are called to defend liberty and protect the innocent. We remember those who have gone before us, our fallen comrades, whose memory and sacrifice preserve our nation's freedom. May the flame of their eternal life remain with us always, reminding us of the high name of distinction and soldierly repute we all have inherited. Grant us the strength and wisdom to uphold the sacred values of honor, courage, and commitment. As we leave this place this evening, instill in us the resolve to always be faithful, faithful to our Corps, to our country, to our God, and to each other. Guide us with your light of truth and grant us the wisdom by which we may continue to serve our nation with dignity and integrity. And it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
As we close tonight, let's carry forward what we felt in this room: duty, gratitude, and the quiet courage that built 250 years of the United States Marine Corps. To our veterans, Gold Star families, dignitaries, volunteers, and partners, thank you for reminding us what self-service above self looks like. May we leave here inspired to do a little more tomorrow than we did yesterday. Good night, travel safely. God bless you, God bless our military families, and God bless the United States Marine Corps.